Welcome back to the channel. I know you guys are glad to have seen the videos of the Class 1s being scolded. So, let's watch another video. This is Mr. DeFazio giving his speech to the STB and to the CEOs of these Class 1s. And we're just going to jump right in, let you listen to them, listen to him say his words, and he's pretty hot. Jump right in, see what they have to say, see what he says to the STB, and then don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy this type of content.
Hear from the chairman of the full committee, Mr. DeFazio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for this critical hearing. Thanks to members of the Surface Transportation Board for being here. Thanks for your service. But we are at a point of crisis, and we have to deal with that crisis meaningfully. The facts are undeniable. Freight service in the United States of America, which used to have the best freight rail in the world, is abysmal. Shippers are being impacted by poor rail service. They're shifting to trucking. Of course, that's more greenhouse gas pollution. Raw material delays have actually shut factories. Extra labor costs to load and unload once rail cars arrive. This service is, forcing shippers to recoup their losses or the manufacturers downstream, and that's the consumers. So this is contributing to the inflationary spike in this country. The evil ghost of Hunter Harrison lives on.
Ooh.
The legacy of this man is disgusting. What he did, he has addicted the CEOs of the rail industry to watching the ticker on Wall Street.
We hit the nail on the head, didn't
and
he?
using their resources to benefit their shareholders and not run railroads like railroads. This isn't the only industry that's been infected. Boeing killed people because of the same pressure and the same infection. And it's got to stop. And you are the people who can stop it with the freight rail industry. The freight railroad CEOs say, poor service, had nothing to do with us. Oh, no, it's COVID, supply chain. Oh, their workforce. Oh, by the way, you laid off one hell of a lot of your workforce. And a lot of them aren't coming back to you because they have been disrespected, mistreated. And you've made it more dangerous for your workers with these cuts. You're not looking to change. I'm talking to the CEOs now. You're not looking to change. You're just raking in record profits. Whoa, more dividends for shareholders. And oh, hey, by the way, my salary also goes up. And my stock goes up. Isn't that great?
Isn't that
Well,
great?
the country suffers. I've been talking about this for a long time. And people say, oh, that's just DeFazio carrying on. Well, now it's DeFazio joined with some very unlikely allies. That would be the chemical industry, the energy industry, the agriculture industry, and a whole host of other shippers who are bemoaning what has been done, the destruction that has been wrought on freight rail in America with so-called precision scheduled railroading. I don't have much in common with the oil industry. We don't agree on much of anything. But here's a quote from the American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers testimony, and I hope the Republicans are listening because you're just listening to the damn freight railroads. Listen to your constituents and look at what it's doing to them.
I want to add something right here. So, like I've said in the past, I don't care where you stand on the political spectrum. I personally do not care. The Democrats have always fought for two-man crews. Republicans is the problem, right? So if you're a Republican and you work for the railroad, reach out to your congressman. Reach out to them. Tell them to support mandate of two-man crews. And just to show you that I have, in fact, done the same already. Tommy Tuberville, right here, if I show you my screen, my Facebook page, he has responded to me before when I talked about this. So this was back June 30th of 2020, so almost 2 years ago. This is before he was elected, and then I sent one Wednesday, and this was BNSF taking aggressive measures to restore. So, BNSF came out with a new updated high-vis policy. That's neither here nor there. But reach out to your Republican congressman, senator, whatever. Get them talking about it. Let them know that this is a serious safety risk to the public if they try to go through with one-man crews. That's all I'm going to say about that. Back to the video.
Consolidation in the railroad industry has created a system of regional duopolies, and the railroad's understandable desire to maximize profits has come into conflict with railroads' common carrier obligation. The Staggers Act was not intended to make the railroads attractive investment targets on Wall Street. It was designed to meet the demands of interstate commerce and national defense. PSR, precision scheduled railroading, has interfered with those goals. It's a business model, cuts expenses to the bone, slows customer service, volume growth. The freight railroads only want to take now the most profitable freight. They're not going to spend anything on growing or maintaining their businesses because, that might hurt their stock price if they actually look to the future and made investments. Surplus assets are mothballed, workers furloughed, and, but they're getting short-term profits. That's great. You don't have to take my word for it again. Former Burlington Northern Santa Fe CEO Matt Rose. He left a great legacy, which is now being dismantled over there too, which is sad that BNSF is following, Hunter Harrison. The Street, this is Matt Rose. This is his exit op-ed, essentially, from the industry. The Street, I'm talking about sell-side analysts, has been extremely aggressive with the publicly traded railroads. They're saying that less is better. Less capital is better. Fewer market opportunities are better. Fewer unit trains are better. It's all about lowering the operating ratio. I disagree with almost all of that. I truly believe that every industry, every business needs growth. I just don't think you can shrink yourself into a virtuous cycle model that works. That's Matt Rose.
And what has Farmer done? What has she done? Don't get me started.
Former CEO of BNSF. Now, I'm pleased that you're taking the matter seriously. I'm pleased you held a hearing, but we've got to act more decisively and more quickly, and you need to do that because you have to protect the railroad network in this country. It's a vital asset. It's going to be critical, not only for supply chain issues, but for the future in terms of dealing with climate change, moving freight much more effectively and with much less pollution than trucks. Your testimony asks for virtually nothing from this committee, suggesting you have all the powers you need. Well, if that's true, and I'm not sure it is, then use them. Use them.
Woo.
Some will argue, it's a free market problem. It'll be resolved by the markets. But that doesn't work with duopolies or monopolies. It does not work. In fact, that's the reason you exist. That is the whole reason that you exist. Current law lays out your responsibilities. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you know what they are. But they include maintaining reasonable rates, fair wages, prohibit predatory pricing, meet the needs of public and national defense, ensure the development and continuation of a sound rail transportation system. That isn't happening in America today. It's not happening. We're going downhill here really quickly. So you're not there to protect the bottom line of these railroads and the CEO's bonuses. You're not there even for the shippers' bottom line. But you are there to make this system work better, keep the costs lower, and be competitive. There's very little competition. We need to reinstill competition here. So let me be crystal clear. If you don't move decisively and don't rise to this occasion, which is a looming crisis, and I just talked to the White House economic advisor about this last night, they're well aware of it. They are extraordinarily concerned. They're looking what steps they can take by executive order to deal with this mess that's being created by the leeches on Wall Street and the obeisance of these CEOs running these companies into the ground. I want freight railroads to be successful. I do. But that success should be defined by the amount of freight they move across the nation, the amount of greenhouse gas they prevent, and the safety of their employees and communities they traverse. So I urge you to incentivize.
Listen to what he just said right here. Back it up. Listen to what he says.
Into the ground. I want freight railroads to be successful. I do. But that success should be defined by the amount of freight they move across the nation, the amount of greenhouse gas they prevent, and the safety of their employees and communities they traverse.
The safety of their employees and the community. This is why I say, that's a big one. The community, this is the whole one-man crew push. These railroads don't care about the public. Be sure and stand on that whenever you send messages to whoever you send messages to. These railroads don't care about their employees, don't care about the public. If you live next to a railroad track, they could care less about you. So just remember that.
So I urge you to incentivize the railroads to act like Wall Street, not Wall Street cash cows, not pawns of those leeches on Wall Street. Stock buybacks, dividends can't be the measures for success of freight rail in this country. They are the only mode with a continued decline in volume in a time of shipping crisis in this nation and high inflation. You've got to do something about it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to thank the chairman.
All right, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to. Be sure and like the video if you like this type of stuff. I'm going to be going over all this. We'll be posting more videos. T-shirts available. Hats available. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you guys on the next video. Y'all be safe. Good luck at school. Good luck to all the on-job training guys. Keep your head on swivel. You'll be good. Bye.